Hey guys, welcome to the Whimsical Workshop. We have clue number 2 for the Piazza Mystery Quilt Sew Along with cotton cuts. So let's get started. Yay! Hopefully all of you have gone out and you have signed up to join us for the Fall Sew Along with cotton cuts for the Piazza quilt. It is never too late to sign up. You can hop on over there. I'm going to put a code here on the screen. You are able to put that code in to get a free gift when you subscribe, just to let them know I sent you. If you haven't watched the first 2 videos, I will leave the links for those below. But we are on team, I can never remember my team, Vittorio. We are on Team Vittorio for the Fall Puzzle Mystery Quilt with cotton cuts, and we are doing the small version. And this is one that they have sent for me to do for you guys for free, so I did not purchase this one. If you have been following along, I did do the spring sew along with them, and that one I did pay for, and I liked it so much that when they asked if I wanted to do this one as a free promotion, I said sure, of course, why not? I loved the first one. So with all of that, let's get into clue number 2. Okay, so last month we talked about how to set yourself up for a successful mystery quilt, which is get yourself a container, make your units and label them, slide them in the bag with the actual pattern piece, and which month it is. I also have my sticky labels to label my units. We also have our color card that we got in month 1 for Vittorio. It shows all of my colors back here. And then these are the tips and tricks for, tips and tricks, that's what it says, for the entire program. And then on the front it tells you your team, which is your color. So the quilt project is Piazza, and then there's different colorways, and each colorway has its own name. Ours is Vittorio, and doesn't matter if you're on Vittorio or one of the other teams, just follow along. All of the blocks are being put together the same way. We're all just using different colors. So, and like I said last month, this is your Bible. Don't lose this. This tells you every month what colors go where, because when you get your directions, they're black and white. And you want to make sure that you know what color fabric is A, B, C, so on and so forth. I do have, because I am getting it from them directly, I have the large and the small instructions, so we can kind of see, and the large is different. I was curious about that. So this month my small blocks are going to look like this, and if you're doing the large version, your small blocks look like this. Very curious to see how they come out. If you are doing a large version, leave a comment below and let me know so that we know to connect with you and see what your quilt looks like at the end. Okay, so we're not on large, so we're going to get rid of that one. First things first is, like we do each month, I'm going to open up my little pattern bag. My pattern bag may look a little different than yours because they mailed these out to us different for being a promoter of it. And the first thing I like to do is I will lay out my fabrics in order following here. So this is fabric A, this is fabric B, this is fabric D, this is C, and this is E. So these are all my fabrics. It says I should have 8 of each of these. And it looks like I do, and then I should have 2 long green ones, or green, 2 long black ones. So there we go. So this month is truly all about half square triangles. So we're just going to be sewing half square triangles. You can see here where I tell you which way to press. I love that they give us all of this information, and I want to talk a little bit about sewing with bias triangles today because that is what we're doing. If you are new to quilting, there is the straight of grain and the straight of grain, and then the bias is when you cut across the straight of the grain, and it makes it very stretchy. This way you can't stretch it at all. Do not do this at home. So you can see here I'm pulling, no stretch. You see here when I pull, see how it stretches like that? That is bias. And because this whole edge is bias, if you're putting it in your machine and you're holding this really tight, it will stretch and distort. So a lot of people do not like to sew with bias triangles. They're afraid of bias triangles because of that stretch. On the flip side, that stretch could help you. If you're a little off, you can always ease stuff in. There's no reason to be afraid of bias triangles. You just treat them gently. You know, don't do what I just did. And so what I like to do with these is, let me grab a big square ruler. And I like to, probably because my sewing machine isn't right here, someday I might move it over here. I like to take a big ruler. Oops, I just took these out of order. All my hard work. There we go. We don't need this till the end, so we're just going to leave that over there. And this pattern, you're going to sew 8 A's and B's together. And if you looked, you got 8 and 8. So we know all of the A's and all of the B's are going to go together. And then we're going to do C and D, and all of those are going to go together. So easy. Now, one of the things I absolutely love about these Block of the Months mystery quilts, however you want to call them, is they're all die cut when they come. So I literally just open it up and I sew. And I don't know if they're die cut or hand cut, but they are cut. And I have, now I'm on month 7 of the first one, and this is month 2 of this one. I have not had any issues with my pieces. And it goes so fast. Like every month I just spend 45 minutes, maybe tops, sewing my block together, and then I put it away. And to think in 10 months, after 45 minutes a month, I'm gonna have this really, hopefully, beautiful quilt. So what I like to do is I like to gang everything up, or knoll it, or whatever you wanna call it. Pair it up and put it on my board. And I do this for a couple of reasons. 1, it lets me know I have all the parts. 2, when I go to the machine, it just feels like it goes faster because I literally just pick it up and feed it through the machine. And 3, it gives me an opportunity to see that things are all right sides together. I do tend to catch a couple errors doing it this way, that the fabric maybe not matched. Like if I put this one up, I would be like, oh, okay. You know, the phone rang, I walk back, I pick up the wrong pile. It happens. So I like to match everything up and put it on the ruler, which I'm going to do here. It also lets me know if I am short any pieces. Like maybe I have 7 of these and 8 of these, or one got stuck over there, or, you know, I don't know. It just feels like if you're doing it at the machine, you're fiddling with your fabric and sewing. Too many things to concentrate on. We're just going to worry about sewing. So I'm going to get these paired up. And again, this whole thing is bias. If you see, I'm not ever picking it up from the biased edge. I'm picking it up from the outer corners. I just don't handle the bias. I just don't mess with it. And it's, you know, you respect it, it'll respect you. You don't have to worry about it. Now, when you go over to your sewing machine, you also just, you want to put this in the machine, hold the piece and guide it, but not pull it. You want it to totally be the machine feeding it through. That was how you should do all of your piecing. Recently my dad was out here and I was watching him sew. I was just teaching him to sew last year, so he's very, very beginner. And I realized he was holding it and he was pushing it through the machine. You shouldn't push, pull, or hold. You should let the feed dogs do their job. Pull that fabric through for you, and your job is to just guide it with your hand, not hang on to it or coax it, push it through. When I first started sewing, I had come from doing some woodworking, so I was used to a bandsaw, and my first quilt teacher was like, stop pulling the wood through like you do on a bandsaw, you know, it's just let the machine do the work. And that's why it's important to have a good machine that has good feed dogs that will gently pull your fabric through straight. You don't want it to go through crooked. So yeah, your job when you're over there should be to guide it and to make it, keep an eye on your 1/4 inch seam. You shouldn't have to worry about actually moving the fabric through the machine. And there we go. We look like we've paired up nicely. I'm going to go sew these together. And in both cases, no, not in, yeah, in both. Let's see, that one's getting pressed for me towards the black dots, and over here it's getting pressed towards the light. So one goes to the dark and one goes to the light. So you do want to pay attention to their directions. They've already made this, so they know which way to press your seams. Okay, let me go get this sewn and get them pressed, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about our unit. All right, so I have all of my squares sewn, And the ends of your, if you haven't sewn half square triangles, they should match. They should not have any opening. They should just match. And I've pressed them according to the directions. So these are A and B's, and these are the C's and the D's. So then what you need to do is look at your picture, and you're going to sew. And this is gonna be weird if you're a Vittorio. On this, A is light, B is dark, but on this, A is light, B is dark, or on this, A is dark and B is light. So just, you know, follow the letters. If you have to put a letter on each of these to kind of remember. But we're gonna sew 4 of these together like that. And then we are going to press them all this way. And then we're going to add this, and then we'll do the bottom row and press them the other way. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're only making 2 of these, I think. Yep, we're only gonna make 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these sewn together. I'll show it to you at the end, and we will be done for another month. All right, there we go. There is clue number 2 all done. We're going to steal our label paper out here and put Unit 2 sticker. I'm going to stick it on my piece, and I am going to fold these so they fit in my little baggie. I fold this, and we're going to slide it all back in, and we are going to be ready to go. So 2 down, 8 more to go. It'll be amazing how fast this flies. So we're all set, we're ready. We're gonna put this in our little instruction booklet back in our box. There's month 1, there's month 2, there's that. We're going. All right, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you're stitching along, and if you are, what team you are. Again, we are the Vittorio group. I can never remember that. We're the Fun Bug group, that's what we are. So let me know which colorway you're doing. Again, I will put the code here on the screen if you want to join in and join Cotton Cuts for their mystery quilt for fall. It's the Piazza Mystery Quilt, and if you put in my code, you'll get a free gift when you subscribe, and it's never too late to start. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.